Us Gaming's proud present to you some Blue Jays baseball on MLB The Show 24. Today is the second game of this three-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays at the Minnesota Twins in Target Field. The second AL Central Twins will see if they can tie today's series against the Blue Jays, who is first in the East and first overall in the league itself. Should have a good crowd today on this clear sky day. There is today's lineup for this game of Blue Jays baseball. The overall pitchers will, of course, be brought to you by Joe and Chris, who will be here momentarily. And just in case you're wondering, the overall stats. We now take you to Target Field for Joe and Chris.
Blue Jays taking on the Minnesota Twins.
Joe and Chris ready to take this game, boys?
First pitch coming at you right after the break. About to get started here, and our pitcher tonight, Chris Patton. I'm going to report on him first.
From the Minnesota Twins. Springer reaches for the first one and easily fouls that off. And he's fouled off the second one. Now he faces an 0-2 count. A mistake by chasing that one outside the zone. Twins will take it.
He's been a great free agent sign. First offering is fouled off. Paddock. He's the kind of starter that a lot of pitching coaches and managers as well really appreciate. Not a guy who's going to get himself into trouble by dancing around, by walking guys. Lewis fires across the diamond. Quick start here this evening. 2 out, top of the first. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. Needless to say, this is an aggressive lineup. They've drawn fewer walks than any other team in the league.
I didn't walk very much, but I'll tell you what, it drives me a little crazy to see it. I mean, we're in this modern era of baseball, and we know how important walks are. Get runners on base, they end up leading to runs. But this whole lineup just seems to be made up of players who come to the dish, they don't have a plan, they come unglued right away. You've got to make that pitcher work a little bit. It's not like, yeah, he throws strikes, and he's got the command to be in the zone, be effective, but just moving the ball around, getting the ball back from the catcher and throwing the pitch.
Oh, that was a glitch.
3 hits last night, so he was a big It's an interesting thing when you consider limiting walks. Is it more important today because of how many home runs are being hit?
No doubt. Keeping players off the base paths with the way the swings, the launch angles are today.
We tell his crew at it again.
It's never been more important.
On the ground out to short. And it finds its way through for a hit. So that's 2 straight 2-out hits.
That kind of power to the plate, they'll gladly take the single to the opposite field.
Here's Jose Ramirez. Right now, he's 9th in the AL home runs. Absolutely crushed.
That'll get him closer. And the Jays start things off.
37 for the year. It's 3-0. He only needed 1 swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at-bat. Aggressive, and it paid off. When you're working with this kind of velocity, so critical that you move the ball around quickly and make sure that you keep that hitter off balance. Clearly not fooled by the location or the velocity. He was all over that fastball.
And now it's Dalton Varsho. Swings through that one for strike 1. Yeah, I think the other part, though, as well, is it goes both ways because I think that pitchers at times are more than willing to give up walks. Makes the play, and it's out number 3. Jose Ramirez with the homer here. It's now 3-0. You're watching Blue Jays baseball on the show, Canada.
Once again, we look at Jose Ramirez's 37th home run to give the Jays a 3-0 lead. Let's see how the Twins respond in the bottom of the first. Next on the show.
Back here with my pal Siggy.
Blue Jays pitcher.
Jose Barrios. Siggy, he can pick up his 20th win of the season in this one.
As simple as it sounds, it's not that simple, but he's got to just look at it as another start. Go out there and throw whatever the catcher puts down and just go to work.
And now it's the switch hitting second baseman, Willie Castro. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And a quick out number 1. And now we take a peek at the Twins lineup. And a key piece, a guy having a big season for them, Max Kepler.
And Boog, he's their team leader in home runs, so you know the pitchers on that other side, man, they took a lot of time preparing for him in that pregame meeting. You know, he's got a lot of pop, and it's real pop. It's not fluky at all. He can absolutely change the outlook of a game very quickly, so watch out when he steps in.
1 down, base is empty. Fall foul. Cuts it, misses. It's a strikeout.
Good pitch right there. I mean, he's attacking a location that this guy to play tends to have trouble with. And there's just so much information in this day and age, sometimes too much information. But guys that can take that information, process it, and then go out there and execute the pitch, go right after that hitter, and get the result that they were anticipating. That's really good pitching right there. And it's a good job of the pitcher and the catcher working together.
Bichette moves it to first. And the Twins go 1-2-3. Nothing doing here for the Twins. They trail in this one 3-0.
So we'll see what the second inning brings next on the show.
Back in target field, here's the second baseman, number 36. He set a new career high in home runs this year. And Siggy, he's just trying to set the bar as high as possible now. And first offering is fouled off.
Number 36, of course, is Davis Snyder.
5 inches. He features a four-seam fastball, a changeup, a curve, and he works in a slider. Slice down the right side. The 0-2. Right side. Kepler calls it in, and there's one away. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Good power. Not great in the OBP department. And a foul ball. 1 out, base is empty. Swing and a fly ball in the air out toward
Oh my!
So a great diving catch, and that was only possible because of the routing to get there, right, Chris?
Yeah, this catch shows us just how efficient that route to the ball was. In fact, that's about as good as it gets. Pretty much a direct line to it. Perhaps he was a wide receiver in a different life. I don't know, man. Great job going all the way through the dive as well. No calls by the ground.
The 0-1. And it's fouled away. Righty to the plate. Nothing doing for the Blue Jays.
Oh, that was ugly.
Head to the bottom of the second. Here's the third baseman, Royce Lewis.
I couldn't even see it.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Gets against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Next, the batter down as he swings and misses for strike one. And there's a foul ball. Indians. Pitch out there, and that's the first out.
Well, he went up there trying to be aggressive, that's for sure. Hacking at those first two pitches, but clearly that last one fooled him. He could have been sitting on something else entirely, but you want to be able to adjust on 0-2 and at least get a swing off if it's in the zone. Maybe choke up, maybe spread out your stance a little bit. You got to give the guy credit on the mound. He went right at it.
In the air, left field. Marshall takes the play. 2 down.
Great start. He's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That can set him up to go deep into this game.
Trevor in the box now. No balls and a strike. Next bring is in for a strike.
Perhaps not quite ready to hit. First 2 pitches. Fly in.
And he got him. Strike 3, and that'll retire the side. Twins wind up stranding 1. They trail it here. 3-0. Back in Minnesota, and here is George Springer.
Springer plays an important role for this team in the clubhouse. I mean, he can hit home runs, which is great, but he also brings a lot to the club away from the field, too.
Liner, base hit. And a bullet on the leadoff single. So next, Joey Votto. He's over the wall. Here comes the pitch. One breaks for second. There's a ball. Safe at second and easily steals the bag.
Really nice swipe of second right there. He knew he had to get a really good jump on the pitcher because that catcher can make up some time. And such a good catch-up throw guy behind the dish. Nice job right there. We just beat it.
22nd of the year for Springer. And stolen bases. But does advance the runner.
Piece of hitting right there. It's early, but you still want to move the ball, give your team a chance to score. That's exactly what happened. So you better believe your teammates are happy with you after that at-bat.
Bichette up to the dish. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored solo. Up the middle. Oh, look at the stop. Now the throw to first. It's there, and that's a great play.
It was, but gave up a run.
Singy did a good job showing off his arm for the out on what was a close play. It's a good thing, too, because he didn't have a lot of time there.
No, he didn't, Boog. How about that arm, man? StatCast saying he whipped it over there at 86 miles per hour. And, you know, that's nothing to scuff at when you're not going off the mound.
And next will be the cleanup hitter, Brandon Bell. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. 2 outs. That's out to center field. Buxton sizing it up. Makes the catch, and a goal. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Twins nothing. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And now for the Twins, Byron Buxton. And here comes. That one's in there, and that is strike 1. Berrios, a former All-Star. He features a sinker, a slurve, a four-seamer, and he whips in a changeup. Here's the 0-2. Just misses the mark outside the zone.
Really close pitch down around the knees there, and you could see him asking where it missed. Probably doesn't agree, but it appears he's ready to move on to the next pitch.
And it way out front of the slurve. And now it's the switch hitter, Carlos Santana. Hammer down the right side of the foul. Foul off. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the frame, and that's now 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's really settling in and getting the feel for his pitches where he wants to right now. So we'll see how long he can keep this streak going.
Foul ball. Nobody on. There's a swing and a miss.
This guy's got such a good sinker as a hitter. You've got to look up the down, chasing stuff.
Popped up. Bell sizes this one up. Now the catcher calls him off for the catch. And that's the third out.
Not what I wanted to do. Sorry, I didn't hook my pitcher.
Back to the ballpark. On the fourth, now it's Jose Ramirez. Swing and a drive, deep right field. That's back. Oh, you are a star, aren't you? Another homer. His second home run of the game, and they add a run. It's 5's in.
First pitch hacking, and it paid off for him in a big way. This guy was looking out on the plate, but he was ready to turn on the inside fastball. So direct to the pitch. Absolutely blasted out his one.
Dalton Varsho next up for the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss. Going 1-1. To the right side. That chance handled. On to first. That's the first out in the top of the 4th.
It's a good recovery, though, after giving up the home run. Not allowing it to stay in the head, but going to work at the next hitter. And a tough one at that.
And a seed into center. That's a base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
No waiting around right there. He was ready to swing it on the first pitch. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride low, out of the way early. Stayed inside that ball, squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in a cage hitting on the tee.
And the belt fires. Ground ball right side could be 2. Good feed. That's 1. On the first, double play. And that's the end. Toronto picks up 1 on this hole. And the lead is now 5-0. And we're back. Ready to go. Bottom 4. Now Correa up to hit. That one hit to right. Springer drifts towards it. Pulls it in for the out.
Yeah, I'm looking at his body language, and he just doesn't seem like things are in sync, and the ball's just not coming off his bat the way it did earlier in the regular season.
Ryan Jefferson to play. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. So a man aboard now with one away. Here's Royce Lewis. He's already singled in this game. There for a strike. 0-1. Ripped on a line. Drops into the glove.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it. But in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Max Kepler at the plate. Struck out looking his first time. On the corner for a strike.
Over 80% of his first pitches are strikes. So if you're doing that, you have a really good day on that mound.
Swing and a ball popped up. Bichette should have this one. Corrals it. And that ends the inning. One left for Minnesota. It's 5-0.
We go to the 5th inning after this.
Back in target field, all set for the start of the inning. And now the catcher comes up to him, Austin Wells. Ground ball to the right side. And foul ball. Wells measures 6 feet 2 inches, 24 years old, a former first-round pick in 2020. Hard hit right side. Tosses to first, and the leadoff hitter retired in the 5th. Back to the top of the lineup, George Springer next up for the Blue Jays. And first offering is fouled off.
Very dominant with that fastball inside. Hitter's going to be conscious of that. Now you have the outer half of the plate to work with out there on the mound.
Bases empty, one away here in the second game of the series. Correa tosses to first, and a couple of quick outs. 2 outs, bases empty. At the plate, Joey Votto. There's a swing and a drive. Buxton sprinting after it. High bounce takes it over the fence for an automatic double.
That was a loud contact and a no-doubt double off that. I didn't know he was going to land it. He's really improved his accuracy out there. It's almost like he tried to do it.
Manager out of the dugout now, and it looks like we'll see a change on the mound. Chris Paddock won't go any further tonight, and as he heads for the dugout, we'll take a quick break. New arm on the mound when we get back.
Let's see who the Twins bring in.
Griffin Canning gets the ball now.
And as relievers go, he's not a big strikeout guy. He tries to force weak contact, so command and execution are huge for him.
Bichette gets a chance to hit. In the air, right side. Makes his way towards it. Makes the grab on the road. And that is that. So the Twins. Matt Waller now at the plate. Fly to left his first time. Foul off to the right.
Well, these Twins need to bring up the quality of their bats and specifically their swings. They're trying to find ways to drive the ball with some authority, but it's just not happening for them so far. 0 extra base hits in the game, so it's been tough for them to get anything going.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Pulled the string of the changeup.
I think he might have gotten away with one right there. That was a very hittable pitch. Right over the part of the blade, and I know that batter is kicking himself right now. I'd like to get that pitch again. Just pulled the string on it, and the deception gets him the game.
Down is empty. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Fights it off, he'll see another. The Blue Jays leading by 5, last half of inning number 5. That one the other way, and that's just foul.
Sometimes you have to keep chipping away until you break through. It's a lot easier to put runs on the board when you have runners in scoring position because they put themselves there.
Here's Byron Buxton. Went down on strikes his first time. That's in there. 1-1.
0-1. Well, this offense has just been locked down almost 5 full innings of shutout baseball.
Could we see it?
And that one is lifted in the air under this one. Makes the catch, and there's one gone.
Lefties can definitely be a little pull happy up there, especially with pitches that they see pretty well. That was a good example. He hooked an outside pitch, hit that ball in the air to right, just not with much authority.
Up for the third time here, watches that one miss. Bell leads off first with one away. Smoke to right center, and this one's gonna go out of here.
Oh, well, you know, he gave up home run after all.
Second deck. His 52nd home run of the season, and they add on. It's 7-0. That one just sounded different.
Might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I can feel that swing from the moon.
Let's break out the StatCast numbers. And Siggy, it tells us this home run was projected at more than 450 feet.
Yeah, and not many players can hit home runs as far as this one. That's a special feeling, and I'm sure he was giggling a little bit as he was jogging around the bases. That was one heck of a swing he put on the baseball.
Fly ball to right. Kepler calls it in, and there's 2 away. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's Kiermaier now. This one in the air. Brings it in, and that'll do it. The 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run homer. It's now 7-0.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th, where the Twins are in a deep hole, being down those 7 runs. They've only gotten 2 hits. Hopefully, they do better in the bottom of the 6th.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Here's the first baseman, Carlos Santana. Right-hander back to work. In the air on the infield, settles underneath it. And there's one down. Back to the leadoff spot in the Twins lineup. This is Willie Castro. Over there for a strike.
When a guy's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes as a hitter, you got to be ready to hit. Now, that's not going to help you get deep into to his pitch count and into the bullpen. But you got to take what he's offering that day.
Hauls it in for the out. And here comes Carlos Correa. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. Swinging a foul. Pushed off to the right. And that will get out of play. And the righty deals. Got it by him. Okay. Wins it. And we're back. New inning getting started. Here's the Toronto catcher, Austin Wells. And the pitch. And a liner around into right center for a base hit. And that turns the lineup.
Clearly, he was ready to hit right there. Just a solid swing right there. Caught it out of line, lifted into the outfield for a base hit. Those always feel great.
And checks out the first, and he's back. And the batter is George Springer. That's to third. The throw to second. On a Santana.
Plays a gem in baseball. How do you not appreciate the skill and practice it takes to make this look so easy? Great work by the end.
High fly ball, pretty well struck out towards right center. Kepler going back on this one. And it hits the fence. Not stopping, he's going for three. And he's got himself a triple.
Put some good swings on the ball. That's his second extra base hit in this one. Just missed out on a home run right there, but he certainly hit it hard enough. Just didn't have the right launch angle to carry it over the wall. But still an excellent swing of the bat.
So man aboard, digging in, Bobichette. And that one lifted in the air, center field. Brings it in for the third out. Jays held in check, but they're still in control. It's 7-0. Bottom of the seventh. Here's the catcher, Ryan Jeffers. And he deals. Swings here in the last one left field. And it's gone. A laser to left. His second over this series. And they're on the board. It's 7-1. He absolutely feasts on right-handed pitching. And devours that one for a home.
And you can see that's what he expects of himself. Looks like this guy was looking out over the plate, but he was ready to turn on the inside fastball. So direct to the pitch. Absolutely blasted out of this ballpark.
So now it's the full hitter, Royce Lewis, 1 for 2. And flips the inside corner for a strike.
Pretty amazing, his first pitch strike percentage over 90%. You know you're getting something in the zone first pitch. So if you're a hitter, you got to be ready to let it fly, even though he's had a lot of success on that first pitch of the at-bat.
Ground ball right side. And he handles it himself for the out.
That's what a good sinker's designed to do. Get a guy to roll over a little bit, put the ball on the ground, kill some worms while you're at it.
Kepler in the box again. Takes a strike. Bounce to the right side.
Davis, Naya,
First in time.
makes it look easy.
Down the left fielder, Matt Wall. This to center field. Under it. And that'll do it. One scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. It's 7-1. Major League Baseball is on the show. For the top of the 8th, and now the Toronto cleanup hitter, Brandon Bell. Brandon Canning, 27 years old, and he won a Gold Glove in the shortened 2020 season. Swing, and all the bat went flying there.
Greg, talk about throwing the hands, but not to bat, man. You want to hold on to that thing. And you can see his teammates over there. If he doesn't come through with the knock, he's going to get some business when he goes back to the dugout.
Foul ball still 0-2. Right-handed reliever. Foul ball, it stays 0-2. Right-hander kicks, deals. Absolutely crushed. And that one is going to win by a man down by the river.
You were saying, Chris?
Monster shot to right. His 69th home of the year. And they tack one on the board. It's 8-1. That's his third straight game with a homer, Siggy.
This dude is on fire, Boo. These kinds of streaks just don't come around too often. Well, that was a hanger, and pitchers typically don't get away with making a mistake like that. Right there, he made it pay.
New pitcher on here, Jorge Alcala. He's into the game with the bases empty. And next for Toronto, Jose Ramirez. Short hop liner, handled it short. Gathers and throws. First out to the top of the 8th. Here's the left fielder, Dalton Varsho. And first offering is fouled off. The Jays up big in this one. We're at the top of the 8th. That one ripped. That's got a chance.
This could be pretty fun as an outfielder, but to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
Foul out of play off to the right.
Davis Snyder, 1 for 3 today.
Swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. Jeffers makes the grab. That is that. Toronto picks up one on this homer. Still a lopsided affair at 8-1 now. Back after this on the show. Back in Minnesota. Now it's the DH, Trevor Larned. Berrios back to work. Foul ball. And the right-hander deals. Swing, and this one's bounced to the ground. Toss the belt, and that's one away as the leadoff man is out in the 8th. And next for Minnesota, Byron Buxton. And he grounds one to the right side. That one handled over to first. That takes care of Buxton. The first baseman. 2 outs, base is empty. Carlos Santana will hit next. And first offering is fouled off. And a pitch. Foul ball there. 2 outs. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Gets a piece there, we'll do it again. Pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. Twins retired in short order, and still an 8-1 ball game. Back in target field, we go to the 9th. Here's the center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier. And that one is lifted in the air. Buxton sizing it up. And there's one away.
He was all over that first pitch fastball, just barely missed it. Man, this guy was ready to hit.
Line drive to short.
That is a positive sign. Even though it probably doesn't feel like he hit the ball hard, but he doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes the defender's there to make a play.
Sprag at the plate now as he chases after that one.
There's a certain point where you have to commit to what you think you see, and he gets it wrong right there. Nasty slider, just terrific by the end.
That takes care of Springer. And that is that. So they make short work of him there. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Top of the order, 2-up. It's the Blue Jays 8 and the Twins 1. And welcome back to the ballpark. Now it's the second baseman, Willie Castro. And it's up for a strike. It's 0-1. It's a strikeout.
He's really good hitting the baseball the other way, so credit the pitcher for having him out in front of that pitch. Clearly, he had it.
Hard hit for third. Whips it across.
Might get under 75 pitches here.
The Twins down to their final out. Here's the catcher, Ryan Jeffers.
They did.
And our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show. I'm John Shambi. We'll see you soon.
And folks, that will do it for this episode of Blue Jays Baseball on the Show. Jokers Us Gaming is happy to provide you more Blue Jays Baseball on the Show with our next episode, which will be the third game of this 3-game set between the Blue Jays and the Twins. So, as you heard, Twins only managed 3 hits. Those 3 hits, one was by Royce Lewis, going 1 for 3, and Ryan Jeffs goes 2 for 4, and a home run, so they didn't get skunked. For the Jays, though, notable players, Joey Votto goes 2 for 4, gets a double, and his first triple. Dalton Varsho goes 1 and 4, couple RBIs with a home run. Brandon Belt does it again, going 3 for 4, and has a home run to boot. But he wasn't the player of the game. The player of the game will end up going to Jose Ramirez. Ramirez was 2 for 4, but those 2 hits were big. They were home runs. First 2 at bat. And he got 4 RBIs. By the way, Brandon Belt had an RBI also, just so you know. Well, Jose Barrios pitches the complete game, less than 75 pitches. He managed only 3 hits against them, 11 strikeouts, and he had only 1 earned run just off that home run. Why, Chris Paddock doesn't make it to the 5th inning as he pitched 4 2/3 of it inning, allowing 7 hits against him. He managed 2 strikeouts, but he had 5 earned runs against him before he was pulled. In the end, the Blue Jays win the series with an 8-1 final. Next episode, the Blue Jays will look to sweep the Twins for the 3rd and final game. Twins, of course, are going to try to avoid that. We'll see what happens on the next episode of Blue Jays Baseball on the Show. Until then, I want to thank the entire crew from Joe to Chris and the rest of the guys for showing great action between the Blue Jays and the Twins. Until next time, this is the 1-2 Joker signing out.